Well, what do you think, America? Your boy Bill Clinton there, going on the tube and talking in TV sound bites. We would like to get your impression, and we're going to do that all night long. Last night on the Stan Major program for 5 hours, we chatted with somewhere around 40 people across this country. And did we have any Canadian calls last night? I can't remember. Maybe one. Nope, none. Okay, well, that's all right. But we talked to a vast array, as they would say, of people, and I expect we will be doing that again tonight, because we're going to be live for the next 5 hours at 1-800-298-TALK, 1-800-298-8255. We'll see what kind of shenanigans the actors up in Boston have for us tonight. Either one or two guys who like to call in and be somebody else every other day. Something like that. We'll see if we can catch them tonight. That's always fun. They must be either at Harvard or MIT working on their acting powers. I thought it was a very strong speech for Bill Clinton. And you know that I lean in the direction of agreeing with what he's doing. I just think he should have done it within 48 hours of the coup d'etat that the colonels pulled in Haiti before they got settled in and did all their wonderful misdeeds, for which you heard a partial listing of tonight. But you know it's fun. It's fun, America, because the conservatives are so out of sorts here. And I'm listening to President Reagan's son coming in. He precedes me on some stations. And President Reagan's son, I call him that because he wouldn't have his job otherwise. I mean, if his last name was Smith, unless we had a president that was Smith, but we haven't. President Reagan's son is, the more Bill Clinton acts presidential, the more President Reagan's son is getting frustrated. That's incredible. And, boy, you think the conservatives are out of sorts now? Wait till the invasion is successful. And there's very limited negative news out of it. Wait till our guys waltz in. And Dan Rather's there to greet them and show them around. How'd you like that little coup that Dan pulled off there, having General Cedras sitting with him watching Bill? That's kind of interesting, huh? So anyway, as I say, the conservatives are out of sorts here, and if it was a Republican in the White House, people like Dole and all these wonderful, I just heard a conservative editor or publisher of a conservative publication saying the only thing that the American people are united on is Bill Clinton's resignation, right? So this guy wants Al Gore as president? That shows you what an idiot he is, all right? I think if you have to take your choice between Bill Clinton and Al Gore, I don't think there is much choice there. Even for conservative right-wing radicals. I know you don't like either one of them, but if you have to take your choice, and sometimes we have to take a choice in life, and our choice may not be very pleasant. So you might have to take a choice, Mr. Conservative, wherever you are, between Bill Clinton staying in, and hopefully you get enough folks in the November election going up to Capitol Hill who are going to try to form major gridlock for the next couple of years. That is the best thing to do, okay? Not get rid of Bill Clinton, because then you have Al Gore. And heaven help us with President Al Gore. Perish the thought, please. Okay. I want to see how you feel about President Clinton. And about the speech tonight, I want to see if he changed your mind, if you are open-minded enough to have watched the speech and realized that there are some valid reasons for his action, albeit very slow action. I'd like to see if you have come around to his side of thinking. We are at 1-800-298-8255. Now, there is a small percentage of people in this country, I don't know what the percentage is, but it doesn't make any difference what Bill Clinton does as president. Their mind is made up. And we'll hear from a lot of those tonight, as we usually do. But there are fair-minded and open-minded people who do call and participate and listen to this talk program. There are people who are complimenting me because I'm not a carbon copy of Ditto Head and I don't make $25 million just knocking Bill and Hillary Clinton for 5 hours a night, which would be very easy to do. I could fall into that pit, but I'm not going to do it because I am my own man. All right? That's why Rush says he does not like my politics. It's okay, Rush. I like yours. Except with NAFTA. And GATT.
This is the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour.
Off the bat, let's go to Canada, Saskatchewan. Myron, how are you?
Not bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's great. I'm calling from a car phone here, so I may cut in and cut out. I just want to talk to you about your guys' Bill Clinton being on the TV tonight. Mm-hmm. I'm actually really for him, for what he's going to be doing. And as far as I'm concerned, it's too bad it wasn't done a little earlier, because we're having a real problem with these kind of dictators. You know, you guys allow these guys to give them so much time and stuff like that. And, you know, of course they play around. Well, we're going to change the government over. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Now it's time that you guys have to react, and I support you guys 100%. And while you guys are at it, come over and help us out with Quebec. Take them over as well. You're at it. I had to throw that shot, and I had no choice.
I figured you would.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I think what President Clinton's doing is good, but it should have been done earlier, because once you let one get away, it seems like the rest of them, throughout all these mad people around the world, figure they can just all do whatever they want. And, you know, I would never want to live in a country like that. There's no way. After seeing, because we get CNN up here and we watch quite a bit of it, and it's pretty sad. So 100% all the way there, Americans.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Myron. Good to hear from you in Saskatchewan. Thank you. Let's go to Joe in Tulsa. Joe, what do you know?
Well, I'll tell you, Stan, I think I finally know where the presidential library ought to be.
Okay.
I think they ought to put it in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where they have the Oaklawn racetrack, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That guy's got more angles than an Oaklawn horse player, I tell you. I think it'd be a perfect spot for it.
Well, now, what do the people in Tulsa think, Joe? They agree with you?
Well, I don't know. I have an open mind. Channel 2, NBC, had a poll tonight here in town. 86% say no, but all the congressmen say no, but I'll keep an open mind, except 14,000 Haitians in Guantanamo Bay were asked to volunteer. Not one of them would go out of 14,000. And they said, they found out, they said, well, why won't you go over there with Aristide? And they said, we don't care if it's Aristide or Cedrus. They said, it's not who's in power, it's Haiti. We don't like the place. We're not going to go. So we got 14,000 Haitians. Not one of them will go. But we're going to go over there and save it, huh?
That's a very good point, Joe.
And my second point is, there's no emergency here. We had plenty of time to debate this in Congress. If Bush can debate Desert Storm in Congress, I would like to hear my congressman comment on it. And I don't like dictatorships. You can stand up for them. I don't like dictators. I don't like people that take away guns. I don't like people that create an elite armed class in this country who own semi-automatic weapons. I don't like people that drive up prices of semi-automatic weapons and they're trying to take this country over. And if he wants to go over there, why in the hell didn't the Haitians go? Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. We are at 1-800-298-8255. By the way, if somebody who really doesn't like Bill Clinton would like to play around with it, take his speech out of the newspaper tomorrow and intersperse or replace certain references to Haiti and make those references to Vietnam. and then call us in a couple of days and read it back to us, okay? Might be very interesting to play around with that. 1-800-298-8255. We're going to Salt Lake City next. Stand by, America. The live all-night talk program is on the air, the Stan Major Show. You've heard me mention that I lost 13 pounds in less than 3 weeks, and I did it eating the same food I normally eat. I just don't eat as much. It's fantastic. Hi, this is Stan Major. Let me tell you about the independent distributors of Light and Right and a little all-natural caplet called Formula No. 1. Now, you take one of these Formula No. 1 all-herbal caplets before you sit down to eat. You might take 2 a day, you might take 3 a day. If you take 2 a day, it's only going to cost you 35 cents a day. And you're going to lose weight. You're going to do it the easiest way in the world. You're not going to eat as much. That's right. Formula No. 1 acts like an appetite suppressant. And believe me, it works. The great thing about it is you keep the weight off. I kept the weight off for the better part of 7 or 8 months before I put a few pounds back on. Then I went back on the program. You can do exactly the same thing. Here's the number, 1-800-206-1935. 1-800-206-1935. I had an interesting little thing happen today. Actually, a couple of interesting things happened today. And I might as well lay them on you now. The first one is, since this was a big Jewish holiday, down here there was no school, public or private. And so I didn't get much work done either, and I took little Christopher, my little 5-year-old, and occasionally we go down to the port down at Fort Lauderdale because we watch some of the big ships and the cranes loading the ships and that kind of thing. One time when we were down there was a nuclear submarine there, and that was interesting. And this time, the Ardent was in. USS something or other. The Ardent. A-R-D-E-N-T was sitting down there. Strange-looking naval ship, some kind of guided missile cruiser or something, or some kind of snazzy communications ship. If anybody has any of these Jane's encyclopedias or something, maybe they can find out or on your computer, if you have a kind of program that tells you, identifies U.S. naval vessels, you might be able to punch it up and give me some information sometime tonight on what the Ardent is. But the Navy guys were all on board, and guys were walking around with brooms, and they were sweeping the deck, and officers were walking around with clipboards, and they seemed to be checking things out and stuff like that. And I thought it might have something to do with Haiti or maybe Cuba. But the fascinating part was there was a U-Haul trailer. That's right. A U-Haul trailer was backed up to the ship there on the pier, and there were a bunch of cars parked around the ship, and they weren't like government cars. None of them had any of the, federal license plates or anything like that. And there were probably about, I'd say maybe 10 or 15 men in their 30s and 40s in civilian clothes who were offloading interesting stuff, boxes and stuff, from the back of the U-Haul trailer onto the Ardent. CIA, don't you think? Well, that was kind of fascinating. Little Chris was watching the cranes and the big tanker ships, and I was watching that. That was fascinating. And then you remember the story that I've mentioned several times that about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, a couple of houses down, we live in a townhouse in a very far western suburb of Fort Lauderdale, almost to the Everglades, And 2 townhouses down, that place was rented by a fellow that we found out was a Secret Service agent. That's right, one of our boys from the you-know-what Bureau. And his name was Brian. And I have mentioned Brian on the show on several occasions, and the fact that one day a Treasury agent knocked on my door and asked me a lot of questions about Brian. Does he throw parties late at night? Is he a nice neighbor, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously checking him out. Well, would you believe they showed up again? Now, Brian's been on the White House detail since Clinton was elected, and before that. He's been gone now for a couple of years. And they came back here. A nice gentleman came back here who admitted to me that he was on the Reagan White House detail. I forgot to ask him if he knew John Hinckley. But he was asking about Brian again. And my wife said, well, he hasn't been here for about 2.5, 3 years. We thought he was up on the White House detail in Washington. Oh, yeah, he's up there. But we just want to send some inquiries and ask some questions. Boy, are they thorough? Wow, coming back to the old neighborhood? Interesting. I thought you would enjoy that. And we asked him how Brian was doing, and Brian's doing fine, and he goes out and jogs with Clinton. And I said to Lori later, boy, I'll tell you, if we ever get a hold of old Brian, maybe he'll have some interesting tales to tell, huh? About Hillary and Bill and White House lamps? Who knows? All right. We're going to go to Salt Lake City and Omaha, so stand by, America. The Stan Major program is live, coming up on 12:30 Eastern Time, 11:30 Central, 10:30 Mountain, and 9:30 Pacific Time. 1-800-298-TALK. And let's go to David, who's been very patient with me in Salt Lake City. Welcome to the Stan Major program, David.
How you doing, Stan?
How are you?
I'm doing well. A couple comments. One about the CIA backed up to the vessel. Hey, they're cutting back. They're on a U-Haul. Next, we're going to see a bunch of guys named Bubba out there in a pickup truck. That's an Arkansas thing. Second of all, I got a couple points. I agree with you as far as, God forbid, Al Gore ever gets in the White House. That just scares me to death.
Mr. Silver Spoon himself, boy.
Guy's scary.
God. Yeah, listen, the ozone layer, boy, I tell you, we would do everything to fix it.
Yeah, maybe we can invade the ozone layer. Second of all, I agree with Bill Clinton's decision to invade Haiti, and I agree with the guy from Saskatchewan who says we waited too long. And thirdly, I'm wondering why we're not in Cuba.
Well, it was kind of interesting when one of the networks was showing all of the ships on a computer printout.
Yeah.
And they showed Haiti, and off to the left was Cuba. All the ships, for some strange reason, the network had them pointed toward Cuba. And I thought to myself, wow, let's think about this for a second. Is this whole Haitian thing a subterfuge?
Could be.
Wouldn't that be interesting if they actually landed at, wherever?
Hey, Bill Clinton models himself after JFK. Bay of Pigs, buddy.
Boy, I'll tell you, wouldn't that be something?
It'd be incredible. I have one last comment.
I wonder what our radical conservatives and our President Reagan's son talk show host would say about that.
Well, I don't know, but let me tell you, I'm 20.
All of Cuba is not worth one American life.
Well,
that's the same thing. I can hear it now. All of Europe and all of Asia and Japan is not worth one American life.
Well, let me tell you, Stan, I'm a lifelong 26-year-old Republican. Most people would consider me a conservative, but, I have a comment about that to any of the elected officials that might be listening tonight. I'm a 26-year-old Republican. I'm the up-and-coming generation, and you guys need to stop voting partisan. It's got to stop. I agree with you about Bob Dole. He's on his high horse right now about the Haitian thing. Get off. Let's do what's best for the country and get things back in order.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's go to Steve in Omaha. Hi, Steve.
Thanks a lot for taking my call.
Hey, it's an honor to take a call from Omaha.
And the speech tonight, it just, again, exemplifies the man's conceit and arrogance and ability to put his spin on things. Toward the end of the speech, in order to justify the invasion of Haiti, he made reference to the American Revolution. I don't know if you heard it or not.
Yeah, sure.
But he actually said the words in reference, brave people picking up arms to defend themselves against tyrants invading their country. And this is coming from a man who just recently signed a bill that infringed upon our very Second Amendment rights.
Uh-huh. That's true.
It's
You're absolutely right.
People ought to just be
And
furious.
also a man who probably would not pick up a gun to go to Haiti or Vietnam or any place else for his country.
Probably not.
So, you've got that. I mean, that's hanging over his head, and he knows it, and there's no way that he can escape it. And as he was sitting there making his speech, and he was making some of these references, I got the distinct impression that the reason those were written into the speech is simply because everybody knows of his background. The little comment about as president and commander-in-chief, I am compelled to do this and that, I don't know. But don't you agree with me? You could take some of the references to Haiti and replace them with Vietnam.
Oh, absolutely. The man just does what's convenient for him at the time, what best suits his purpose. He's unbelievable.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Good to hear from you in Omaha. 1-800-298-8255. I have a feeling this is going to be a record night. We're off and running. We talked to about 40 people last night, and already we've talked to Canada, Saskatchewan, Tulsa, Salt Lake City, Omaha, and here we go to Minnesota, Rossville, Minnesota. Earl, how are you?
Yeah, it's hi there, Stan. It's Rosseville, Roseville, and it's midway between St. Paul and Minneapolis. It's a suburb.
Thank you.
Have you noticed? And first of all, let me just say this: I'm on the teeter-totter, as I told another talk show host tonight, about the proposed invasion of Haiti. But have you noticed this, Stan? Have you noticed that all these happy little politicians in Washington, like Newt Gingrich and Bob Dole, who are standing up and they appear to have the guts to oppose the president, do not vocalize any solution insofar as if we don't invade Haiti, what do we do about the Haitians in Guantanamo, and what do we do about other Haitians who are going to want to leave the island? Have you noticed how all these happy little people are standing up to the end because they realize that a lot of the American people are against the invasion, and these happy little people are saying, oh, Mr. Clinton is wrong to invade, but they don't have the guts to stand up and have any solutions as to what we do with the Haitians. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you what I think it is. And number one, I'm not a Bill Clinton fan, okay? But I'll tell you what really angers me. They're saying one thing, but they're not giving the American people, when I say they, I'm talking about the politicians who are opposing the invasion. They're not giving the American people any alternative. And the reason I'm angry is I think that this stinks to high heaven of nothing but politicians who are hell-bent on getting Clinton out of office at any cost. Now, the flip side of the coin is there are one-seventh of the population in Haiti. There were initially 7 million people. 1/7 of the population, Stan, is already here, over 1 million people. A lot of them have AIDS. Many of the Haitians in Guantanamo have AIDS. And I would like to ask people like Newt Gingrich and Bob Dole, what do you want to do about this? You don't want Clinton to invade. What shall we do? Shall we send all the Haitians back to Cuba? Or shall we do what the American people don't want to do? Polls have proved that they don't want these people to come into this country. What do we do? And you know what? They're sheep. They're guts. They don't want the invasion to take place because they want to get the president out of office at any cost, but these happy little idiots, alias politicians, don't have the guts to tell the American people we're going to do this or we're going to do that about Haiti. And with that, I rest my case, Dan.
All right, Earl. Good to hear from you in Minnesota. Thank you very much.
much.
Part of the Light and Right mission is to provide every individual with the opportunity for financial success, if he and she will just reach out and take it. Listen to what Esther has to say in Houston, Texas. The extra income I earn from my Light and Right business allows me to spend much more money on my children and much more time with them. It's nice to have some financial independence and not to have to rely totally on my husband's income for everything. How about Mary Jean in Renton, Washington? I've been a housewife for 25 years and am now independently earning my own money. Never had more fun in my life, and the rewards are more than financial because I'm able to help so many people feel better. Boy, that is great. Thank you, Mary Jean. You can do the same thing. The independent distributors of Light and Right are seeking hundreds and hundreds of you folk to join them. If you have a few hours a week, maybe even a couple hours a day, and you'd like to sell 4 great products that are all natural and going to be good for your neighbors, good for your friends, good for the people you sell the items to, then will you call and ask for information about becoming a distributor? You're under no obligation when you call this number. It is a voicemail. Listen to the message carefully, and then just leave your name, your area code, and your phone number, and tell them you heard that they were looking for distributors. You heard it on the Stan Major program. You tell them the best time to reach you, and they will endeavor to call you at that time. Have a long chat with them. They're nice people. They're just like you. They're neighbors, and they're making a few bucks, and that's what we want you to do. Okay, here's the number, 1-800-206-1935. 1-800-206-1935. All right, we have a lot of email to mention on the show, and I responded to a lot of it. Got the computer back in order today. This is from John. Where's John? Where are you, John? See, I wish you folks would just put on there where you're emailing me from, okay? Stan, this is a copy of email I sent to the president yesterday. I seldom have a chance to call your show at night, so email will allow me to express my feelings on your show. Keep up the good work. You're a good balance to Rush, who may be more of an entertainer than he claims to be. I'm writing, from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Excuse me, John, okay. He listens to KOB, the mighty KOB on 770. Dear Mr. President, I must severely protest possible military intervention in the affairs of Haiti. I do not see how our national interests are served by such an action. If there were some resource supplied by Haiti, which is critical to our defense, or if the loss of a market in Haiti would adversely affect a very large part of our manufacturing capacity, I might be able to support an invasion or a similar military action. However, since none of these points appear to be true, it would be eminently logical to allow the nations of the Caribbean to handle their own problems. It is with great regret that I find myself writing to my president, as I have generally agreed with the policies of those who preceded you. It's not all surprising that I watch saddened as your approval rating goes down like a lead brick in free fall. Ooh, I'm sure Clinton liked this one if he read it. I am a registered Republican, but generally consider myself to be a free-thinking independent. Your policies and programs are contrary to almost everything that I believe to be good for this nation. Please consider the frivolity of what you currently ponder. The disaster of one lost American life is too high a price to pay for the internal problems of Haiti. I spent time in Vietnam and Thailand during the Vietnam conflict and know what war is about. And the people of the United States are not backing the American troops. Do not allow that fiasco to start all over again. Respectfully, John. Okay, John. Thank you. Let's go to Lynn. We have a line available, right? 1-800-298-TALK. And that's toll-free from all of the great 50 United States of America and from all the provinces in Canada. 1-800-298-TALK. Lynn is in Dallas. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Stan.
Yes, Lynn?
I have to agree with what you were just reading about John. I lost my husband in Vietnam.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, that's okay. I've since gotten over it. I'm much older.
Mm-hmm.
I really have to disagree with Bill Clinton on this one. There's no national interest. There's no... I don't believe that Haiti has nuclear weapons that they're going to send over to bomb us or... I don't believe Haiti has an air force, do they?
No, they have a couple of planes on the tarmac for the generals, I'm sure.
I bet, to fly the heck out of there. I don't understand why we're going to do it. I mean, that's their country. Let them sort it out. I don't understand why we're there or why we think we want to be there. I listened to his speech this evening. I don't understand the national security part. If you explain it to me, I'd love to listen to it.
Well, the only explanation I can give you is that we cannot continue to allow Haitian folk people to come to this country. We don't have room for them. We only have room for Cubans.
I don't think we have room for those people either.
You're right. I got my tongue in my cheek there a little bit. Okay?
Well, I understand that, but...
See, the Cuban politicians in this country have made it official that it's okay for Cuban raptors, Cuban hijackers, Cuban murderers, anybody who can hijack or kill anybody to get here. Do I remember
correctly that we did the Mariel thing with, Jimmy Carter?
Good old Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was a hoot, wasn't he?
Send us your prisoners, your mental cases.
Wounded and prisoners.
We changed the Statue of Liberty on that one, Lynn.
Well, let's see. We could go back to Jimmy Carter, but I don't think I really want to do that.
Okay, Lynn, call me again. Thank you. Nice to hear from you. 1-800-298-TALK, the major program, live. The New York Times reporting today that a peaceful departure from Haiti could get the country's military rulers a comfortable life in exile. The newspaper quotes senior administration officials as saying President Clinton has approved a plan to offer Haiti's 3 top leaders a safe haven if they agree to cooperate. The Times reports the 3 would be told that the U.S. would provide transportation, visas, and safe havens in third countries, including help in withdrawing their assets from frozen bank accounts. President Clinton told reporters Wednesday the U.S. has exhausted every available alternative short of military invasion to oust the Haitian leaders, but he added they do not have to push this to a confrontation. Okay, let's go to Omaha, Nebraska. Dory, how are you?
Fine. This Haiti invasion, there's so many similarities to that as there was Grenada in 83. I mean, Reagan ordered troops over there, too, to protect about 1,000 American citizens and restore democracy. So why is it so different?
Because Bill Clinton is doing it, my dear, because Bill Clinton is doing it. You see, let's go back and check the congressional record and get Bob Dole's comments on all that, okay?
But it was the same thing. I mean, he wasn't given permission by the Congress or the Senate. The very same thing.
No, it's, the only thing...
And there was no invasion threatened by Cuba or anything like that. I mean, pick up your World Almanac and read it.
Yes, I understand that. The only thing different is that Reagan planned it clandestinely, and we went in there, and there was no, pre-invasion publicity about the whole thing.
No, I realize that.
The debate was afterwards.
Yeah, but nobody was told about it.
Right. Thank you, Dory.
It has a lot of similarities. All right, thank you.
Yes, it does. Good to hear from you. We are at 1-800-298-8255. Let me give you the email address and the regular address. First of all, the email address on the Internet to American Online. All small letters, all stuck together, no spaces. Are you ready? STANMAJOR at AOL.com. STANMAJOR at AOL.com. And that takes care of that. and I'll email you back. Please, just when you write me a letter on the email, just tell me where you are. I don't care what name you use. I get a lot of weird code names on the computer stuff. I don't care about that. I don't care who you are, but I do want to know where you are, all right? And if you want to write me a regular letter, or if you want to be the first to contribute that $1 million to get the Stan Major for President campaign underway, we are still seeking our first and our first $1 million donation here. We do not accept any amounts of money under $1 million. Hey, we come right out and ask for it. None of this $500 limit, none of this $100 limit. $1 million, man. And that makes you a player here in the Stan Major Republican quest for the presidency for 1996. Send that or anything else you want to Stan Major, 9715 West Broward Boulevard, 9715 West Broward Boulevard. Broward is spelled B-R-O-W-A-R-D. Suite 333. Suite 333. The city is Plantation, Florida. Plantation, Florida, and the zip is 33324. 33324. Certified checks only. No personal checks for $1 million, please. Dr. Bill Level will be here for 3 full hours at the beginning of tomorrow's show from midnight to 3 Eastern Time. Then we will endeavor to repeat 2 of those hours, so you're going to enjoy that. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about what's going on.
The Talk America Radio Network is the only network in America providing round-the-clock, live, unduplicated programming 7 days a week. Some of the stations broadcasting the Talk America Radio Network include KCRV, Carruthersville, Hayti, Missouri, WPDJ, Huntington, Indiana, WSSH, Boston, WNCT, Greenville, North Carolina, WDIS, Norfolk, Massachusetts, WOCC, Corydon, Indiana, WMKT, Charlotte, Blois, Missouri. If you have any questions or suggestions, write to the Vice President of Operations, Talk America Radio Network, 500 West Cummings Park, Woburn, Massachusetts, 01801. The Talk America Radio Network engineer is Carl Abrams.
If you're seeking office as a baby boomer, better watch out, bud. They'll start a rumor about what you did in your hippie past.
The news reporter's gonna have a blast.
If you didn't go to Vietnam, your campaign's gonna bomb. And it's 1, 2, 3. Didn't you fight the war? Were you out there smoking pot or volunteering not? And it's 5, 6, 7, ain't it a cruel fate? Oh, if you didn't fight old Ho Chi Minh, the press will do you in. Bill Clinton said,
well, goodness me, I'd love to join ROTC, but the lottery came, and now guess what? The number I got's gonna save my... I'd love to fight, but gotta run, gotta get my toenails done.
Were you 1A, 2S, or were you 4F for your crooked legs, or from eating rotten eggs? Number 5, 6, 7, or 358. Oh, they'll sock it to each boomer boy who didn't fight Hanoi. Now Clinton's critics are parasitic, maybe a little bit.
Hippie, old critic.
Everybody tried to save his tail,
like Richard Cheney
and Danny Quayle.
When Danny's parents made a call, he played some volleyball. Was it 1, 2, 3? Hey Dan, what's the score? Did you show your fighting nerve? Did you have a wicked serve? Was it 5, 6, 7? Hey Dan, tell us straight. Or did you bop that volleyball so strong you scared the Viet Cong? His medals for ping pong.
open line. Dial in right now. 1-800-298-8255. So far, we've talked with Saskatchewan, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Salt Lake City, Omaha, Nebraska, the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, Dallas, and Omaha again. Let's see where you're calling from. We are live on the Stan Major program, and that's the best way, live all through the hours of the night, reacting to President Clinton's speech regarding the imminent invasion of Haiti. Okay? And the conservatives and the right-wingers out there, some of my best friends, are getting really uptight because he may pull this off. And oh boy, if he does, look out. 1-800-298-8255. Here's another email. While we wait for you to respond and call in, under the heading Junk Mail from Spot Meter in Dallas. On the online, listen to you tonight. If I'm feeling especially angry at liberals, I like to hear you chew up the airheads that call in. I really like to hear guests on your show, as they are not the typical kind of people that we'd hear on other stations or on TV. We'd like to hear a guest that could intelligently discuss alternative health remedies that work, not the snake oil folks, but real cures that the money-hungry drug companies don't want you to know about. Well, what do you want me to do? Have the FDA come here and break down my door? Are you kidding? You can't do that in this day and age. Don't you know if you don't support some big pharmaceutical company trying to push their overpriced drugs off on the American people, that you can go to jail? Just ask my friend Charlie Pixley, huh? He's not in jail, but he certainly has had interesting visits from the folks involved with the Food and Drug Administration. Here's another one. What's happened to the phones? We have a phone problem now? Oh, okay, good. You'll love this one. This is under the heading, Hello and That Wacky Black Jewish Rabbi. Hello, sir. I just listened to Brother Nathaniel, or Brother Jacob, spout off for a solid 5 minutes, and I must laud you for your open-mindedness. However, I am curious if you would give a white racist as much time. It seems as though his philosophy was based on victimization and scapegoating, and he had no concern for people who were not identical to him in religion, color, and socio-economic background. Perhaps he was some bizarre sarcasm artist, but it didn't seem so to me. I am curious to hear your opinion of him, as well as your opinion of his vengeful attitude. That's all right. Hey, if I misspell something on email, I don't go back and correct it all either, okay? That's from Reed Word, and he's a rogue hacker on the internet. And we're coming to bust you too, buddy, okay? We don't want no hackers on the internet. Okay. I don't know. It depends on Nathaniel or Jacob. I like them both. I don't agree with anything. Well, I do agree with a little bit of what they say. But they're a plus factor for this show. And as far as Klansmen are concerned, you're probably right. You probably caught me there. I probably am more inclined to pull the plug on somebody with sheets over their head than I am on the likes of Jacob and Nathaniel. All right? I stand guilty of that. 1-800-298-8255. Ladies, we're going to massage your thighs, so get ready. But you have to have the thigh cream from Swanson's to do it, okay? So you got to write down their number, and you got to call them, because I know you have been hearing and reading about thigh cream. You've been seeing stuff on TV about it. Well, this is it. In the better salons down here on South Beach, where they make TV shows that fail, they are selling this stuff as quick as they can get it in for about $40 a pop. But you can have Elite Natural Thigh and Body Contour Cream direct from the Swanson warehouse to your home for just $19.95 plus a small shipping and handling fee. $19.95 for thigh cream with aminophylline in it. It's not oily or greasy. It absorbs right into your thighs and other affected areas, and it promotes firmer, smoother skin. I'll tell you what we're going to do. On top of sending you the thigh cream, we are going to give you a free 9-month subscription to the Swanson Health Digest. In that, you will find national name brand vitamins at up to 40% off retail price. Now, wait till you see the prices on Swanson's own vitamins. That's something. So have Elite Natural Thigh Cream delivered right to your door for just $19.95. Call 1-800-704-2121. 1-800-704-2121. All right, let's go to Carbondale, Illinois. And Effingham could never beat Carbondale in basketball, right, Brad?
That's right.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic.
Good Southern listening tonight?
Whatever.
All right, well, we all are here. Yeah, I have to say, I'm getting a little disturbed. I'm listening to all these commercials about skin cream and all that. That's good, and hope those people sell a lot of stuff. But I was thinking about the president tonight. What do you think about that?
What do I think about the president? Well, just like at times you crawl into bed with somebody that's, not exactly up to par. Like when Rush crawled in bed with Bill on NAFTA.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I have to crawl in bed with him on Haiti.
Reminds me of a story when a couple of years ago, several years ago actually, I was, when I got back from Beirut working in the UN peacekeeping force, I was working with a guy making awnings and for porches and so forth, and he was an older guy, and he was actually a member of Hitler's army, and he went on all day long, every day as I was making awnings, telling me about how he believed that everything going on was right, and he said he went on about how whenever he said that whenever they invaded another country, the reason the countries fell so quickly was not because the military was defunct in any way, but more so because the people kind of agreed with I guess you'd say the propaganda that preceded the invasion, and that's the only thing that concerns me about the United States today right now, because we got I don't know, it kind of scares me, but it seems we got an administration that's proceeding with propaganda that's allowing the people of the United States, or kind of encouraging the people of the United States to give up those basic, I guess you'd say, tenets of the 10 Amendments that would allow them to have a free country. And that's the thing that kind of scares me, because that's what I see what's going on right now. What do you think about that?
Oh, yes. The more that the federal government or Washington infringes upon the states and the counties, obviously, the less rights that you're going to have, because they're going to be dictating what you need, what you're going to be able to do. I agree with you there. However, on the Haitian invasion, I don't know. I got to go along with Clinton. I just would have done it within 48 hours after the coup, and that would have saved a lot of stress.
Yeah, but the thing that scares me about that Haitian thing is that I've been studying, like a lot of people, I guess, that are trying to be aware of these things have been, and I see that like Aristide, he is not what we would consider, I guess, a model citizen.
No, that's true. Former Catholic priest. A lot of people consider him a Marxist. He certainly is a socialist. But I do take his word that he will step down at the duly appointed time. Thank you. Good to hear from you at Carbondale. 1-800-298-8255. One of the original callers to the Stan Major All Night program. is standing by. Don't go away. Coming up on 25 minutes after the hour of 1, and we are at 1-800-298-8255. When a line becomes available, we are live, America's live all-night issue-oriented talk program. Where's Boston tonight? We haven't had a call from Boston. Last night, I guess I scared away those guys up there. Last night, let's see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... We had 5 calls in the first, I think, hour. Maybe hour and a half from Boston. Not one tonight. Let's go to Brad in Femio Sage, Missouri, one of the original callers to the Stan Major program. Has it really been almost 4 years?
Something like that, yeah, sure.
God.
You know what? They blew it. They should have gave Dan Rather a gun. They really blew it. Isn't this a wonderful diversion for Congress? Isn't it? You know.
Hey, you sound like me. You've been listening to me too long.
Well, you know, if they don't say anything for a couple days, it'll be started and over with.
Yeah,
then they can come back and say, well, you know, we were against this, but we didn't have time to do anything about it.
Yeah, but you know what they're going to do while we're invading Haiti next week?
Okay, tell me.
Pass health reform while we're not looking.
And that's the name of that tune. There's no checks and balances between the executive and legislative, is there?
Hey, you know I got an atlas that doesn't have Femi Osage on it?
Well, it's just a little fart of a place, to use a lonesome dove expression.
Now, you're not, are you near Washington? Are you listening to me on Washington on the FM?
Yeah, on KSLQ, yes.
Yeah. Are you near Washington?
Oh, maybe 10 miles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I listen. That's what I've been listening to you for the whole time I've been listening to you, except I listened to you on some Illinois stations for a while on AM.
Yeah.
I just, I can't figure this whole deal out. I just don't know.
It's simple. It's simple. There's November elections coming up.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying about the diversion of Congress,
Yeah.
you know. But the other thing that gets me is why this whole build-up of everything. Why not just send a bunch of special forces guys in there? And if Dan Rather can go there, why can't they go there and knock these guys off and get over with?
You mean call up Ray Bean on the hotline, say you got a few Mossad around that aren't doing anything right now?
Yeah, or maybe they could recruit Bo Greitz.
Yeah, right. Or SAS, they're not doing anything.
I mean, they've already. I wonder if they've got the boat off the reef yet.
Oh, I heard something about that. What was that?
They got.
That was our first accident. We haven't even had the invasion.
Yeah,
right?
well, apparently. They got in, and they were drawn to, they didn't have enough water, to draw, that business where they were too deep in the water, and they ran up on top of a sandbar.
They all look out for that.
All it takes is a $5 rope and a rock to sound the place.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, listen, not the Pentagon, man. If the Pentagon's going to get it, you know what it's going to cost us.
Yeah, and that's the name of that tune.
There you go. Hey, Brad, good to hear from you. Hang in there, will you?
Okay.
All right, good to talk to you. 1-800-298-8255 of the major program. Let's go to Jerry in Mesquite, Texas.
Yes, Dan, I'd like to take a reverse angle on this invasion plan. I think we have Clinton all wrong.
Okay.
I don't think we should invade any more of these poor countries. I, for one, am sick of us invading all these two-bit bankrupt countries. I mean, you think we all would learn by our mistakes instead of blaming Clinton. I think the problem is all with the U.S. military. I mean, you think with all the money they spend, they could afford to hire a decent travel agent? I'm tired of them booking these deep discount tours that are leading to nowhere countries. For once, I wish they would invade the Bahamas and liberate all those tax-free billions.
At least Jamaica.
Definitely. I mean, and I thought Bush's travel agent was bad, but Clinton's even worse.
Yeah, that's right. Who wants to go to Nicaragua? Or Panama? All right, Jerry, good to hear from you. Thank you. 1-800-298-8255. Yeah, if you're going to... Let's invade Haiti, man. I mean, for heaven's sake. Why not? The Stan Major program live, 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central, 11:30 Mountain, and 10:30 Pacific Time. A line is available, 1-800-298-TALK. That's toll-free from Canada, toll-free from the United States of America.
That's a look at sports. Now back to Stan Major.
And on we roll. All across this great country, from beautiful Fort Lauderdale, where it did not rain today, thank goodness, finally. I don't think it rained today. I can't really remember, you know. Let's go to Lexington, Kentucky. Did it rain in Lexington today, William?
No, sir, it didn't.
All right, good. I can't remember whether it rained down here today. I must be losing it.
Oh, it never rains here during the weekdays. It always waits for the weekend.
It was pretty. We drove along Fort Lauderdale Beach today. Yeah, it was raining a little bit. Yeah. I recall now. What's on your mind, William?
Well, at the beginning of your show, you wanted to talk to Mr. Conservative or something like that, and I guess I qualify.
Okay.
And I listened to President Clinton's speech, and I still haven't heard anything that changes my mind that there's nothing in our national interest to justify an invasion.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's not even that makes me so hesitant to support the president. It's that he didn't... if he would get Congress's approval, then I'd be all for it. I'm very, shall we say, I don't know. It's amazing how nervous you get when you're on the phone.
Well, just relax. Let me ask you this. How did you feel about Reagan going into Grenada?
Well, at least he had some justification in that a foreign power was building a military base, supposedly a military base in our hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
And President Clinton doesn't even have that excuse. Panama, we had the Panama Canal. That's of vital national interest to us, as well as international interest. But Haiti, there's nothing. But like I say, if the gutless wonders in Congress would either approve or disapprove instead of just standing back like they always do and letting the president have their way, I'd have no problem with it.
Okay.
I was in the Navy, and if I was still in the Navy, I would like to have some reason other than Mr. Clinton trying to dig himself out of the hole that he has put himself in with his bluster, to have a better reason than that for me to go down and possibly get killed or wounded.
All right, William, I appreciate your comments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go to Bill in the great state of Colorado, Wallsburg. Where's Wallsburg, Bill?
Yeah, it's out there south of, about 30 miles south of Pueblo.
Oh, okay, good. Good to hear from you.
Thank you. Good to hear from you. Yeah, I think on the deal about the Haiti, going over to Haiti, I support the president on what he wants to do over there. I used to be in the Navy also, and I feel that it's if the president feels like he should go over there, then we should do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he can get, like, I agree with the other guy. If he gets congressional approval, then I'm all for it.
All right, but you can't really expect the boys in Congress to take very fast action when you've got to make a decision to do something. But in this case, they have had plenty of time to chat about it. Now they're all upset that they're not going to get to vote on it.
Right.
That's a leadership problem, and it's probably another example of why the Republicans ought to be able to make some inroads, shall we say, in the November election.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm talking about?
I understand that 100%. But no, like I said, I was over in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and I spend time over there, and I know what it's like when you don't know what the hell's going on or anything. But you know, like I said, when the president decides to do something, then we've got to do it. And whether it's a national interest or not, there's got to be some justification for that he feels that he should be going over there, or that we should be going over there.
Did you watch the speech tonight?
No, I missed that.
Okay. All right, good to hear from you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
1-800-298-8255. We are taking plenty of calls tonight. We are setting a fast pace, so just keep dialing in. 1-800-298-TALK. That's toll-free in all of the great 48 United States, and in Alaska and Hawaii, 2 more great states, and in Canada. It is toll-free from all provinces in Canada. Saskatchewan, from the eastern provinces, from Nova Scotia. It is toll-free from Alberta, although we've never had a call from there. We've never had a call from Quebec. We've never had a call from British Columbia, but we'd be delighted to hear from anybody up there. 1-800-298-8255. What makes the American Spectator the country's most fearless news magazine? The news magazine that over 300,000 Americans rely on every month for fact-based news and commentary that they can't find anywhere else. Well, call their toll-free 800 number. You're going to find out. You are going to see for yourself. If you like the American Spectator, you'll get 12 monthly issues for just $29.95. Otherwise, simply write cancel on your order, and you'll owe them nothing. Paid subscribers are going to get a big bonus. They're going to get the famous David Brock report on Bill Clinton, detailing Bill Clinton's alleged misuse of public funds and services for the facilitation of his love life back in Arkansas. This is yours free, just as it appeared in the American Spectator, and put that magazine on the map. 1-800-535-7900. You can dial it up right now. Order your first issue of American Spectator, and if you like it, pay for it. If you don't, write cancel and send that back, okay? 1-800-535-7900. Boy, Mike up in Richmond, Kentucky, has sent me something from the Roll Call, the congressional newspaper. It's the Guide to Congress, the Fabulous 50, Roll Call's infamous list of Hill staffers with real power. Staffers, not congressmen, staffers. Boy, names you've never heard of, folks. I tell you, we're going to have some fun tomorrow night with Bill Level. Let's shake Bill Level up, okay? He can't hear me. So I'm going to go through these names tomorrow when I get him on the air. And I'm going to say, some of these people are going to be his sources, you know. Okay? And he's going to say, where did you get those names? Thank you, Mike. We'll have some fun with Dr. Bill tomorrow. Okay, let's go to Diane in North Palm Beach, Florida. Hi, Diane. Diane? Hello, Diane.
Hi.
No, there she is. I hear somebody.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Am I the first female tonight?
No, we had Lynn from Dallas.
Oh, good. Where is Jesse Jackson? Nobody's making any comment about Jesse.
Well, thank goodness Jackson. For that. But why should we make a comment about Jesse?
Well, isn't he the one leading Clinton into this? Into Haiti? He's been over there ever since it started. Jesse Jackson. You hadn't heard that?
Jesse has been in Haiti. I thought
Yeah,
I saw
back in-
him. I thought he went to the Middle East or something, or was an envoy to somewhere.
He's really. Did you hear 3 or 4 weeks ago he was going to run against Clinton for
Yeah.
the presidency?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Clinton's going into Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jesse's the one backing. Oh, he's the one after Clinton to get in there. That's the story. You wait till it's over and you'll hear about Jesse then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Thank you, Diane.
And wait,
Yes, go ahead.
The Kiplinger letter said in June 14th that Clinton would invade Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
And only they had predicted it would happen earlier than what it has. It's been delayed.
Yes.
But I'm still not for it, even though I see them coming in on those boats. I still don't think we should do it because I'm afraid that our men's going to get killed.
Okay, Diane.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Let's go to Fred in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts.
Hi, Stan.
Fred, get off the speakerphone.
I can't.
Why?
Because it's the only one I got.
Oh, okay.
Look, we got 14,000 Haitians at Guantanamo Bay.
Right.
Why don't we give them uniforms and guns and some training and let them go fight for their own country?
Or open the gate and let them take over Cuba.
Well, whatever. But why couldn't they want to get back to their country, let them fight for it?
All right. You do the same thing with the Cubans?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
I think it's an excellent idea.
Well, we had to fight for our country.
Okay.
Why couldn't they? We'll give them the guns, we'll give them the uniforms, give them some training, and let them go at it.
They probably don't want to live in their country. They'd rather live in Fort Lauderdale or Miami.
Well, I can understand that, too. I've been there.
Or maybe East Longmeadow.
Well, never mind. We got our own problems here.
All right. We'll give them guns and ship them up to Massachusetts.
We got our own guns up here, too. We got 13 that got killed in Springfield in the last, since the first of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame. Well, they're going to come and take everybody's guns away, so don't worry about it, okay?
They're going to have a hell of a time getting mine. I learned how to use that back in World War II.
Okay, Fred.
Okay.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
Bye.
Let's go to Corey in Cleveland. Hi there.
Good morning, Stan. I'm a first-time caller.
Mm-hmm.
And today happens to be September the 16th, 1994. I want you to try to remember this because I got food for thought. Diane talked about eyes going over there and being killed. And in the summer, they televised the Right for Life was being carried away from in front of the abortion clinics. Well, where are those same folks tonight when the president talks about war? Why aren't these people being carried away from in front of the White House? That's just food for thought.
Okay.
But Haiti, getting to that, that's going to be a pretty nice, what you would call a vacation resort after we rebuild it with these tax dollars. And
wait a minute. You mean we're going in there to save Club Med?
Yeah. I mean, we're going in there. We're going to blow up the little mud huts and replace them with high rise.
Okay.
Okay, but that's American tax dollars at work.
Yeah. Can we get them into the cigar making business? Because on the other side of the island in the Dominican Republic, they make great cigars.
Yeah, I know it. However, what is your opinion of the creed of this country?
The what?
The creed.
The creed of this country?
Yeah.
What would the creed of this country be?
The Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
What's your opinion of that?
Well, I'm very very respectful and very respectful of Declaration of Independence, and I read it as often as I can, and I visit it at the archives in Washington. It's kind of an unusual question, but I am a firm believer in what Jefferson put down, and I'm a firm believer in the Constitution and the various amendments.
Right. So therefore, any time any form of the government becomes destructive of a person's right to pursue happiness and liberty and wealth, it is the duty of that government or those people to abolish and destroy that government and lay foundation for a new one.
Hold on, Corey. Hold on. I want to talk to you about that. We'll be back. Don't go away. Bring up some really interesting points. Can we get back to Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
And Haiti for just a second?
Go ahead.
Did you say you were against the invasion?
I'm against all forms of deliberate destruction of human life.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's why that's why I asked you at the beginning of the show, where are the rightful lifers?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well,
I'm against all forms of deliberate destruction, and this is what's going to take place, but at the expense of my grandchildren and their grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so unfair for us to continue. I mean, it don't matter, Republican or Democrat. They all follow the same pattern. I mean, we're rebuilding Panama with tax dollars that is being taken away from American citizens. And that's why the cities are going broke and services are lacking and standards are going down steadily. Every time we go into war, it's not those at the top that suffer, it's the grassroots folk that suffer. And we're suffering. So anything that can alleviate us having to send the tax dollars out of this country where they're created and worked for with blood and sweat, why are we doing this to ourselves? And I think about the creed that this country is under. They brought Russia out of existence. Russia couldn't keep supplying Cuba and keep supplying whoever wanted to be supported by them. They couldn't do it. But we are continuing to slip in the most deadliest situation on the planet, and we continue to do this. And it's mind-boggling to me. But I hope one day we will re-examine the creed. Why do we have to destroy and to abolish any form